So we've managed to get round, and you can still carry on walking. I'm just not sure where it's going to end, and it's a little bit slippy. Hopefully we don't have to turn back. I'm not sure this is the official public path. Probably not the most sensible thing I've done in my life. Sorry, Mum. It's our last morning in Austria. We've been here for the last 5 days, and today we are heading to Slovenia. Before we go, we have asked Patrick to stick the Austrian flag on Trudy because, as you know, we've bought a flag for every country in the world, and every time we visit another country, we stick the flag on. So Patrick has the honour of sticking the Austrian flag on for us. You're a legend. Thank you very much, my friend.
No problem.
We will see you.
Have a nice
I'm going to give you a man hug, and we'll see you in about 18 months, 19 months. Where? I don't know.
At our welcome home party.
You have to drive to England when we come back.
All right.
Is a deal.
It's a deal.
Okay, thank you for everything. This has been our home part up for whilst we've been in Graz, and now it's time to head to the next country.
Bye bye.
We've decided to do longer drive days because that allows us to actually stay still for a whole day and just enjoy the local area rather than trying to drive a little bit every day. And the weather is shining. We've got another beautiful day to drive today, and Slovenia, here we come. We're slowly wheeling our way through the mountains, and we are very close to the Slovenian border.
Turn left.
What's funny is the sat-nav's telling us to turn left because the hairpins are just a little bit tight. Luckily the road here is actually large enough to turn Trudy, no problem at all.
And you're with a professional driver.
And I'm with a professional driver. Good job, love. We're trusting the TomTom, which may be a little bit of a crazy thing to do because I've just looked on Google Maps and the road up ahead is definitely getting a lot smaller as we enter Slovenia. But it's absolutely stunning, these mountain roads. They're just beautiful.
In fact, oh, it's not a stopping place. I'm just going to stop now for lunch. We might stop for lunch soon.
We found this little pullover just by the side of one of the hairpins, and we're still actually in Austria just. And we just thought we'd stop for a bit of lunch, and you can see the snow on this hairpin behind me where they're all flying around. And it's funny because there's actually a sign here that says caution, beware of wild boar, just in case you were in any doubt how cold it is up here. They've got the mountain water coming out of this fountain behind me, and the icicles, it's all frozen. Right, time to head to Slovenia. We've refueled, we've had a bit of lunch. We're ready for those mountain roads. We have officially arrived in country number 22, Slovenia.
Yay, Slovenia! Beautiful hairpin bends and snow everywhere.
I was going to say, so far the first impression is it is beautiful.
We have just come over the Slovenian border, and there are no words for how beautiful this drive has been for us, and it culminates here in this beautiful location. It's absolutely awesome, stunning, spectacular, beautiful.
First impression of Slovenia, we just cannot believe how beautiful it is coming through those mountains. Absolutely amazing. Slovenia, I think we're going to have a good few days. So after a 5-hour drive, we have arrived. We've made good progress down through Slovenia today. We found this little parking spot on this side road, just off from the main road that you can see behind us. And I think it should be good. It might be a little bit noisy with the cars, but we're tucked away. We've got some woods there, so we'll probably go for a walk in the morning. And we've made it here just before it gets dark. We always try and park up before it gets dark, because it's such a pain trying to find somewhere, and so much harder when you're looking for somewhere to stop in the dark. But yeah, this will be a good spot tonight, I think. First morning in Slovenia, we've woken up. We had a good night's sleep. I think there was something on the roof of the van at some point during the night. There was a little knocking sound above us. But yeah, all good. The sun is starting to come out, so it actually looks like it might be a bit of a sunny day, so we're going to take advantage of that this afternoon, I think. It's Sunday, so it's actually normally our work day, so we're going to we haven't got a SIM card for Slovenia, and we're only going to be in the country for about 4 days, so we figured we should go and try and find a restaurant or a cafe or something with internet that we can work in, so Marianne can get the newsletter done. And yeah, then we'll have a little look around this afternoon and see if we can find something to show you guys.
Yeah, let's hope the weather holds out and we'll be able to get the drone up.
There you go. But coffee time first, and the kettle is on. So we've just pulled up to this restaurant we've seen by the side of the road, and I think it's got Wi-Fi, so we're going to go in and check it out, see if we can work here for a couple of hours.
There is a sign that says Wi-Fi.
So far so good, hopefully it's open.
What have you got?
Some kind of sausage. It looks like hot dogs, but it doesn't taste like hot dogs. And then there's a tomato sauce and some kind of mustard dip.
I've got some kind of meat, like a kebab. It actually looks a bit like a kebab. And I've got chopped onions and also the same tomato sauce, which Chris assures me is not spicy.
It's nice.
It's like minced beef and it's got like onion in it and herbs. It's really tasty.
That actually worked out really good. We had coffee and food and got to use their Wi-Fi, and the signal was really good. And we're heading now to a castle which is literally just a couple of miles down the road, and apparently is very beautiful.
And what's even more amazing is we met Gio and Claudia from Italy, who bought us coffee and gave us their email address and told us when we come back to Italy we have to go and visit.
The kindness, thank you very much guys, much appreciated.
When you travel, there are so many beautiful places to visit, and it would be impossible for us to do all of them. So when we arrived in Slovenia, we decided we would see things on our way through, and we found this fabulous little castle called Postojna Castle. I hope I'm getting that right.
Yeah, there's a famous castle here, and we're just going to check it out. Unfortunately, it's very late in the day, so we're not going to be able to go into it, but the lighting is beautiful, and you can see the castle coming up here. Apparently I heard it was used in the Game of Thrones, not sure, but wow. So we've just walked up to the top of the hill by the castle. You can see it behind us, and absolutely amazing. Marianne's just getting some pictures to update Polar Steps for those of you following us on Polar Steps. If you're not, it's a free app. You can download it. We're not sponsored, but it just lets you follow our travels where we are in the world, and it's amazing. You can see like there's tunnels around the castle and caves. Absolutely stunning.
It's funny because although there is like the odd tourist shop around and like a cafe, it feels incredibly authentic, doesn't it? I feel like I'm expecting some men on horses to go galloping by
Game
at
of
any
Thrones.
moment.
The village behind us here, you can see, isn't actually very big. There's just a few houses and a couple, like Marianne said, a couple of coffee shops. But it's absolutely beautiful. So we just walked down a little bit, down the pathway here for an underneath shot. Just looks different from this angle. It's a good place if you're looking for some photos to come down a little bit, down towards the stream. Beautiful. We've woken up for another day in Slovenia, and we found this car park just on the outskirts of Piran, but we had a quiet night and a quiet night's sleep here. Again, low season, it's a really good thing. So in high season you have to pay for this car park, but the machine this time of year is covered up and it's free because it is low season. So the plan is today we're going to go into the town of Piran, which we've been told is a must-see if you come to Slovenia on the coastline, just before we head over to Croatia. So we're looking forward to that today, and I think we're in for a nice day's weather. It's all looking good. So we tried driving down to Piran, but unfortunately there is nowhere to park down there. It says permit holders only and ticket holders only, and the car park at the top of the hill has a height barrier of 2.3 meters. So we're going to go and try and find another one and see if we can walk down. So that was an interesting start to the day. We've actually ended up in the car park where we slept last night because it was the only one that we could find to park, and it's not that far. It doesn't look far on the map to walk into the town, so we just decided to walk, and the sun's coming out, so why not get our exercise for the day.
Absolutely. What was bizarre is there's parking for permit holders only and visitors, but as soon as we got to the visitors they were like no. So yeah,
everyone was waving us like we shouldn't be there, so
we're not quite sure what that's all about.
I think it's because it's probably so touristy, probably a bit like Portofino, that you can't actually drive down into the town. So
yeah, Chris and I have never been to Slovenia before, and to be honest, when you've never been there you should never really have preconceived ideas or even think you know what you're talking about. And even though we're just doing a rushed pass through, we're in Piran. It's lovely, really, really beautiful. The houses are lovely. They say that it's Slovenia's Venice. We're not yet down at the water, But so far so good. Lovely, idyllic little streets. Flowers. We're in February and there's flowers. It's beautiful. Isn't it, love?
It is.
When you're living in the van, it's really important to try and get out and do some walking. I'm not a big fan of hiking, but we found some steps. They're going up to the top of the castle area. Ooh.
So it was worth the walk towards the castle because you get this wonderful view that you can see behind us. People said you have to come to Piran, and I can see why. You know, compared to a medieval Venice built during the same times, it really does actually have a similar look to Venice. Can't wait to go and explore those streets. We're just walking down to the town and I saw this little side alley and the view is amazing. Let me show you. You can see the water and the harbour.
What do you do with your beautiful trees when it's cold in the winter? You put a sock on them. And it's so pretty. Somebody's gone to a lot of effort to make this tree warm, snuggly, and a little bit beautiful. We're down in the square in Piran. We've made it all the way down to the bottom of town. What a stunning place this is, with the port on one side, the big square on the other, and then you've got all the little cafes all the way round for that cafe culture that I absolutely love. If you need to find the tourist office, the port is there, the statue is there, and that's where the tourist office is.
As we always do, it's a good idea to come to the tourist office when you arrive in a new town because you get a map and the ladies in the office all speak English. Perfect. So now we actually know where we're going. And if you're looking for an ATM, there is actually one behind me on the main square. We were chatting to a traffic warden earlier this morning, and he said last year during the summer, every day, every car park was absolutely rammed. Looking at the square today, you can see it's a lot quieter than in the summer. As I always say, it's a great time of year to actually come and see these sites because it is so quiet with tourists. And how lucky are we with this weather? The sun is shining again on us. We do, as we travel, we try and make videos or drive on the days when it is raining and get out and about on the days where it's sunny. So today is one of those sunny days. So we do look at the forecast a little bit and plan accordingly. But yeah, we've been very lucky, and the forecast for the next week as we head into Croatia is also looking pretty good.
You can always tell a really healthy water source when there's lots of fish, and there are millions and millions of little baby fish just below us.
We always love a coastline, but the water here, I keep saying it every time we come to the coast, but it's so clear with the sun on it. I can't wait to go down the coastline of Croatia and see that coastline, because I hear that's very beautiful. So we're walking around Piran, and we thought we'd stop and try some local food. So we found this really cool looking restaurant right by the harbour, and I'm starving and it smells so good. So we've ordered a few dishes. I have some sausages in like a bean stew served with some homemade bread, and we've got some grilled peppers. And then Marianne's got like a really nice spinach and cheese pie.
So it's like spinach and cheese wrapped in flaky pastry, and then yeah, it's really nice, and it's been cooked on some kind of griddle because it's quite hard at the bottom, and then it's all soft and flaky on the top, so it's really delicious. Very cheesy and spinachy.
That's delicious. I always love beans. Marianne doesn't like beans, but I love, so I don't eat them that often. But this is a really lovely bean stew, very comforting food.
Smells very barbecuey.
Sausagey, meaty, beany, delicious. The grilled peppers are delicious. Served cold, but look at all this lovely garlic. I love garlic.
We've just popped into this lovely little restaurant across the road here and had some food. It's very nice. And everyone's been so friendly. Being able to speak English is really helpful when you travel because everybody seems to speak English. And although I have my Google Translate and my accent is dreadful, we start off in very bad Slovenian. And then everyone jumps in and helps us in English. So we're very fortunate to speak a language that most people speak. And I'm not sure it's going to be like that everywhere.
We've just spotted this sign that you can see behind us, and I'm not sure what it means. It looks like there's a whole family having a party 500 meters down the road.
Wow, I have really enjoyed Piran. It is a beautiful, beautiful town. Lovely port, just glorious, really lovely. The colourful buildings, the sea, the food, the people. It's been a really lovely place to visit. We're rushing through Slovenia as we take this epic challenge of driving around the world. So we are going to be back Slovenia. Because we have had so much fun. The lovely thing about visiting a town out of season is it's so quiet. It's obviously designed for so many more people to be here. There's lots of little touristy restaurants that are closed at this time of the year, and there's lots of building works going on to get it ready for the summer season. But it's really lovely because it's quiet and you can walk down the streets without being hustled by people. This is an active port. You can see all the fishing boats behind us. So this is obviously a big industry here, supplying all the local restaurants.
I think we were even luckier with the weather this morning because the sun has started to go back in, and we've definitely had the best part of the day, I feel. It's starting to get a bit chillier.
The wind, although we're walking all the way around the harbour, and now we found there's a little walking track all the way back up to Trudy. So rather than walking them round, fingers crossed we found a track. But yeah, as Chris said, we've been really lucky with the weather, and as we've come around the corner out of the port, the wind has started, and time to cover up our ears.
It is. I might have to get my woolly hat out in a minute, I think. All the way along the seafront there's actually steps leading into the water, so I'm sure that when the weather's a bit warmer, lots of people come down and swim. In fact, we did actually see a snorkeler today with a wetsuit on. It's probably a little bit cold today. And all the way along the front here there's lovely restaurants and eateries or places you can sit, just have a cup of coffee and just enjoy the view. It really is a stunning town. Being so close to Italy, there is a real Italian influence actually. There's a lot of pizza, pasta places around. And in fact, we did actually say, or attempt to say hello in Slovenian this morning to somebody, and they replied, ciao. And we asked the traffic warden guy this morning, and he said, yeah, He said all through Slovenia and Croatia, people say ciao as they do in Italy. We've just stuck our head into the church at the end of the peninsula here because the door was open. And although it's actually closed up, it's an absolutely lovely old church. Oh, I could tell a story or two. You can definitely see the age when you look at it. We're trying to walk along the coastline just to get a different route back to Trudy and save going all the way up the hill past the castle. And we've come across this graffiti. I'm loving the shark behind us. I know some of you probably hate graffiti, but when it's artistic like this, it looks pretty cool. We're not sure. We're going to try and walk around the coastline here. We think there's a pathway. But there's a beautiful church at the top there as well. We're not sure whether this is actually a pathway, but there are footprints on it, so I guess it should be. It almost feels like the pathway should be the other side of the fence. The path has come to an end. So we've managed to get round, and you can still carry on walking. I'm just not sure where it's going to end, and it's a little bit slippy. And it carries on round the corner. Hopefully we don't have to turn back. I'm not sure this is the official public path. Probably not the most sensible thing I've done in my life. Sorry, Mum. No, it didn't work. We should have trusted our instincts. No steps down. Long walk back. It's not that far. It goes all the way round the corner that way.
We're back down on the beach now. We made it. We are still alive. In fact, I was laughing with Chris because when we were kids, we were always getting into all sorts of shenanigans and climbing trees that we weren't supposed to and going places we weren't supposed to. And yet we're still alive. So everyone that's worried, don't worry. Everything's fine. We've just found a sign that says church, and we think it's going to take us up to the church that we were trying to get to by the sea wall. So let's see.
It's going up.
It's definitely going up on these lovely little cobbled roads.
So just to give you some kind of perspective, this is the pathway that we just tried to walk down, and then it ran on the outside all the way along this wall, and we got to this far corner, and then we had to walk back round all the way up the hill here. So you can see the castle here where we started our day, and we walked all the way down to the main square, which is here, and then we had lunch down by the harbour, walked all the way around through the streets, around the church right at the end, and we've come back to here. And this is the church with the amazing clock tower. I don't know whether you can see it, it's just behind where we filmed from the square. So hopefully this pathway, we're hoping, leads us back, is heading in the right direction, back towards the castle, because Trudy's parked on the other side of the hill over there. This wonderful walkway we found that goes all the way round, which will take us back to Trudy, and then we'll only have a small hill to climb rather than trying to climb up over the castle and down the other side.
Yeah, we found a parking spot called Fiesa, F-I-E-S-A, on Park for Night, and there seems to be a walkway that goes all the way round to that town, which is the next one along.
So fingers crossed we don't walk to the end here and then have to turn round again. Otherwise Chris's shortcut didn't work.
Yay! Chris is my homing pigeon. I get lost in a car park. I've said it many times before, but Chris has directed us. We're actually going through like a campsite stroke hotel. But we saw the little chalet areas that they've got just up here below us where we parked Trudy. So we're on the right path.
So if you go this way and park there, you can actually get to the town centre without walking up any hills.
Woohoo!
Or very few hills.
Very few hills.
We're trying to do slightly longer drive days, which gives us longer days where we can... Jeez.
I know. I don't think they had lane control.
He was actually inches away from us.
I know.
Whoa!
I think he was on the phone.
That was really close. Oh.
Woohoo, country! Although we're not going to do that.
We're not doing that yet.
No, we're not doing that yet because it hasn't happened.
And we followed the sort of border along the south coast of Austria. The south coast, no, the southern flank cut.
We're in Postojna. No, where are we? Postojna. Oh. See, I had it right.
We're in something like that. Postojna.
No, we're in Postojna.
There you go.